ensuring your launch success. In this lesson, you're going to discover what you can do while you're waiting for your inventory to increase your brand recognition, and also make sure that when your product goes live, you start making sales straight away. So at this point, you are probably waiting for samples or for your inventory to be created by your supplier. Instead of taking a break and waiting, take action. Building out your brand assets is important and is something you can do right now rather than just sit and wait for your product to arrive at Amazon. Having a brand presence when you launch is critical. As soon as your product goes live, you want it to take off. You want everything in place for a fast launch, so that your product is ready to produce sales within a few days of going live. The more you do now while waiting, the faster your product will take off once it arrives at Amazon. So how do you go about building your brand presence? Well, first of all, you're going to create and build out your social media profiles. And you'll also create your brand website. And finally, you'll create your lead capture pages. Doing all of this gives you the perfect platform to launch your product. And it also builds credibility for your brand even before you launch. Your Facebook brand page. Your Facebook brand page is critical. It is naturally viral compared to a normal website. And it can also do everything a website can do. And Facebook ads work better when targeting a Facebook page rather than a website. So, what if you have limited time or funds? Well, then choose to build your Facebook brand page before building your website. Your brand website. Now, there are two different options when it comes to building a brand website, with and without hosting. Without hosting is much easier and it's also much cheaper. And initially, we only need a very basic website. However, in the future, you may want to create a more advanced website, but building a simple website the way we will show you will not affect you doing that later on. And as you'll see, we are going to use a site called Wix.com. So why build your website now? Well, the main reason you want a website now is to show you are a real brand or company. Customers on Amazon do search brand names. So when you launch your product, there is a good chance they will go and look at the brand name mentioned on your page. And if no website exists, they might be less likely to buy your product. So it is important they can find your website. If not, they will not have much faith in your brand. However, at this point, it is not about selling from your site. It is about brand recognition and making your brand look real. This means we can keep the website fairly basic at this point. So what other social sites will we use? We're going to be using Twitter, which is awesome for promotional methods. We'll also be using YouTube, and again, it's more for promotional methods. And we'll be using Pinterest, which is great for both brand recognition and promotion. Now, they are not quite as important as Facebook, but because they are so simple to set up and utilize, we do recommend you get them started now. And they're especially important to complement your Facebook brand page, especially when it comes to marketing and promotion. Lead capture pages. Building a list of customers and prospective customers for your business is incredibly valuable. You are going to learn a really simple process for achieving this. It is not as complicated as you might think. Having a list of customers you can market your products to without restrictions is a goldmine. In the next module, you'll learn how you can contact your customers using the Amazon email system. But that does come with restrictions. So do it yourself or pay. Your time is incredibly valuable. So paying can free up your time. However, so is learning the process. To get started, we highly recommend you create these sites yourself rather than pay someone. However, we will show you how you can pay for individual elements. So we've covered the main brand assets you are going to create. And next, you will discover how to create a simple Facebook brand page. But even though it's simple, it will have a massive effect on your business. But that's it for this lesson. Take care.